First celebrity in the spotlight tonight is the actor and comedian Adrian Edmonson.
Sister Tyson, could you get the portable ultrasound machine? I think Jacques' problem is definitely abdominal rather than cerebral.
His subject, the Sex Pistols. Next, BBC News presenter Bill Turnbull.
A statue of Nelson Mandela will be unveiled in Parliament Square today, watched by the man himself.
His subject is beekeeping. Third, the actress and impressionist Jan Ravens.
I'm Fiona Bruce. Guess who put the bags under Alan Sugar's eyes?
And her subject, Daphne du Maurier. And finally, the poet Benjamin Zephaniah.
Goodness gracious, lo and behold, the greatness of the Soho Road.
And his subject is Jamaican Reggae. Hello, I'm John Humphreys and welcome to Celebrity Mastermind. Tonight, 4 celebrities will bravely, or foolishly, depending on your viewpoint, put themselves through the Mastermind ringer. Who comes out at the other end to claim the Celebrity Mastermind trophy depends on who can handle the pressure of the clock. Each of our contenders has donated their fee to their chosen charity, but there will be nothing charitable about the questions. 2 minutes on their chosen subject and 2 minutes on general knowledge. So let's get on with it and ask our first contender to join us, please.
Please be kind.
And your name?
Adrian Edmonson.
Your chosen charity?
Interface Uganda.
And your specialist subject?
The Sex Pistols.
The Sex Pistols in 2 minutes, starting now. In front of which London building did the Pistols sign their contract with A&M on the 10th of March 1977?
Buckingham Palace.
Correct. Which band had Malcolm McLaren been managing before he managed the Sex Pistols?
New York Dolls.
Yes. What was the name of the programme chaired by Bill Grundy on which the Pistols swore on live television on the 1st of December 1976?
Today.
Correct. In which Yorkshire town did the band play on Christmas Day 1977, their last UK gig before they split up the following year?
Huddersfield.
Yes. John Lydon's audition to join the Pistols consisted of him miming along to a track by Alice Cooper in Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood's shop on the King's Road. Which track was it?
I'm 18 by Alice Cooper.
Yeah, what was the name of the album released in February 1980 that included all the band's A-sides and most of the B-sides?
In February?
February 1980.
Pass.
At which London Art College did the Pistols play their first live gig in November 75?
St Martin's.
Correct. Which line from the Pistols song God Save the Queen was the original working title of that song?
No Future.
Yes. In which American city did Johnny Rotten leave the band after a concert in January 1978?
San Francisco.
Yes. How much was the advance that EMI gave the band when they signed them in October 1976?
£40,000.
Correct. Which well-known guitarist produced the Sex Pistols' first studio session in May 76?
Chris Spedding.
Yes. Which band wrote and originally recorded No Fun, which appears on the Kiss This compilation?
Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
Yes. Who directed the 1980 fictional documentary film about the Sex Pistols entitled The Great Rock and Roll Swindle?
Julian Temple.
Yes. Which singer prevented God Save the Queen from topping the charts in 1977, although it's widely believed the Pistols' record was selling more copies than his?
Rod Stewart.
Yes. Which was the only Sex Pistols song to feature on Top of the Pops in the 1970s?
It was pretty vacant.
Yes. Who sang lead vocals on Who Killed Bambi, released as the B-side of Silly Thing in 79?
Edward Tudor Pole.
Yeah. In which occupation did the drummer Paul Cook serve as an apprentice after leaving school?
Electrician.
Yep. The band was signed by the record company A&M on the 10th of March 1977. On what date were they fired?
Fired 7 days later, on the 16th, actually.
16th of March 1977 is absolutely right. You passed on the name of that album in 1980. It was Flogging a Dead Horse.
It is, yes.
Yeah. However, one pass, Adrian Edmonson, 17 points.
Thank you very much.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Bill Turnbull.
Your chosen charity?
Marie Curie Cancer Care.
And your subject tonight?
Beekeeping.
Beekeeping in 2 minutes. Which proteinaceous food is fed to the queen larvae by the worker bees?
Royal jelly.
Yes, what name's given to the device in a hive that allows workers to pass through but prevents the passage of queens and drones?
Queen excluder.
Correct. What's the most widespread of the adult honeybee diseases affecting the bee gut or stomach?
Nosema.
Yes. Which traditional type of beehive constructed from straw is now often used only for collecting swarms?
Skep.
Yep. For what purpose would a beekeeper use a butler cage?
Introducing a queen.
Correct. What intervention can cause bees to fill themselves up with honey from the honey store and makes them more amenable to handling?
Smoking.
Yep. Which term refers to bees flying out of the hive to defecate after periods of confinement in winter or during bad weather?
Pass.
Sometimes called bee glue, which sticky resinous substance gathered by bees from trees and plants is used to seal up cracks and holes in the hive?
Propolis.
Correct. What name is given to the boxes placed on top of the brood chamber in a hive for the storage of honey?
Supers.
Yes. Which of the woodpeckers can present severe problems to bee colonies in the winter by breaking through hive walls?
The green woodpecker.
Yes. What can be physically done to the queen bee as one of the management techniques to delay swarming, or at least to ensure the swarm will not go far from the hive?
Clipping her wings.
Yes. What's the purpose of the beekeeping procedure known as grafting?
Introducing a new queen.
No, rearing queens. One type of wooden feeder set on top of a hive has two syrup reservoirs to which bees can gain access through a central entry. What's it called?
Miller.
Yeah. Which process carried out inside individual hives can be used in the spring to induce average colonies to build up more rapidly?
Pass.
What name is given to the phenomenon of the bees leaving the hive and on their return entering another hive instead of their own?
Drifting.
Yes. Which widely used self-spacing frames are named after the Polish immigrant who invented them in the 1890s in America?
Hoffman.
Yeah. Queen substance refers to what type of chemical secreted by the queen and passed throughout the colony by worker bees?
The pheromone.
Yes. What name is shared by the two contagious bacterial diseases of bee larvae for which colonies can be treated with an antibiotic such as terramycin?
Foul brood.
Yes. Which device such as that invented by Porter in 1891 is fitted to a clearing board, I've started so I'll finish, and used to remove bees from supers?
Bee escape.
Bee escape is correct. Two passes. Spreading the brood is that term that I was looking for. And when they go out of the hives to defecate, it is called a cleansing flight. For obvious reasons, I suppose. Two passes, Bill, you've got 16 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Jan Ravens.
Your chosen charity?
ActionAid.
And your specialist subject?
Daphne du Maurier.
Daphne du Maurier in 2 minutes. What name did the du Maurier family give to Swiss Cottage, the house they bought opposite Fowey in 1926?
Ferryside.
Correct. In 1947, du Maurier had to go to court in America when she was accused of plagiarising a work called Blind Windows when writing which of her novels?
Pass.
What nickname did her family give to Maud Waddell, who became Daphne's governess in 1918 and later governess to Daphne's own children?
Todd.
Yes. What term did Daphne use for lesbianism, although in her younger days she thought a woman who was attracted to another woman must really be a man?
Venetian tendencies.
Yes. Which novel chronicles the lives of 3 generations of a Cornish boat-building family living in the town of Plyn?
The Loving Spirit.
Yes. What was the name of the character, a cricket captain at rugby, that the young Daphne created as an alter ego for herself when she wanted to play at being a boy?
Eric Avon.
Correct. Which house that she later rented did du Maurier have in her mind as Mandalay while she was writing Rebecca?
Menabilly.
Yes. What was the name of her husband Tommy's yacht on which they spent their wedding night?
Yggdrasil.
Yes. Which song by Charles Trenet is widely regarded to be one of her favourite pieces of music?
La Mer.
Correct. In which play, originally called Mother, is the central character based on Ellen Doubleday, the woman Daphne fell in love with while sailing to America?
September Tide.
Correct. What's the name of the walk, a favourite of du Maurier's, that starts halfway up Bodinick Hill, winds along the cliff top and ends up in Paul Ruin?
Hill Walk.
Hall Walk. All the dogs she owned except Bingo, with crossbreed, were which breed of terrier?
West Highland Terrier.
Yes. Tywardreath near Fowey and Kilmarth formed the setting for which of her novels published in 1969?
The House on the Strand.
Yes. With which young film director working at the time for Edgar Wallace did Daphne have an affair in 1929?
Carol Reed.
Correct. Which novel, whose 3 main characters were different facets of herself, was the first she wrote in the writing hut that had been built for her at Menabilly?
The Parasites.
Yes. What piece of jewellery, being given to her by her father, did Daphne give to Ellen Doubleday?
A small jewelled flag.
Yes, a Royal Yacht Club brooch. Which city's name did she use for relations between men and women?
Cairo.
Yes. By what private name did she refer to her husband? Probably because of the depression that led him to a nervous breakdown.
Mopa.
Yes. Which writer's unfinished novel, Castle Door, did she complete at the suggestion of her friend Foy, the writer's daughter?
Sir Arthur Quiller Couch.
Sir Arthur Quiller Couch is exactly right. 1 pass. She was accused of plagiarism when she was writing Rebecca. But, Jan, you have 17 points. our final contender, please. And your name is?
Benjamin Zephaniah.
Your charity?
Childline.
And your chosen subject?
Jamaican reggae music.
Jamaican reggae music in 2 minutes, starting now. In 1968, which Jamaican group released the record Do the Reggae, which is said to be the first song to use the word reggae?
The Maytals.
Yes. Which recording studio was opened in Maxfield Avenue, Kingston, by the Hookim brothers in the early 70s?
Channel 1.
Yes. Which group had a UK chart hit in 69 with Return of Django?
The Upsetters.
Yes. Under what name, the nickname of the Kenyan politician Jomo Kenyatta, does the singer Winston Rodney perform?
Burning Spear.
Yeah. Which label, an offshoot of Island Records, was initially established in 1967 to handle the material produced by Duke Reid, but later expanded to handle reggae recordings?
Cox and Dodd.
Trojan. Augustus Pablo was a virtuoso on which keyboard instrument which he played on songs such as Iggy Iggy?
The Melodica.
Yeah. With which song, subtitled Shantytown, did Desmond Dekker and the Aces have a UK top 20 hit single in 1967?
Pass.
What was the title of the Gladiators' debut album for Virgin, recorded in 76 while Jamaica was under a state of emergency?
Right Time.
Trenchtown Mixer. What nickname was given to the producer Bunny Lee because of the number of hits he was associated with?
The Dragoneers.
Striker. Which trio consisting of Rita Marley, Marcia Griffiths and Judy Mowat were brought in to replace Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer after they left Bob Marley?
The Eye Trees.
Correct. Junior Barr's 1972 release Pharaoh Hiding was written in praise of which Jamaican politician?
Michael Manley.
Yes. Nicknamed Sir Coxswain Downbeat, which record producer opened Studio One in 63?
Clement Dodd.
Correct. Which group whose classic lineup was Ducky Simpson, Puma Jones and Michael Rose made the hit albums Chill Out and Red?
Black Uhuru.
Correct. Which influential reggae producer opened the Black Ark recording studio in his backyard in the Washington Garden suburb of Kingston in 1974?
Lee Perry.
Yes. Peter Tosh and Bunny Wailer split with Bob Marley after making which 73 album that includes the track Get Up, Stand Up?
Burning.
Yes. Which Jamaican dub poet made his name with the album Check It, released in 82?
Rita Bruca.
Yes. With which record about the death of a racehorse, I'll finish the question, did the Pioneers reach number 21 in the UK chart in 69?
Long Shot Kick the Bucket.
Long Shot Kick the Bucket it is. You had one pass. That song, subtitled Shantytown, was 007. You have, Benjamin Zephaniah, 13 points. So, that's the end of the first round of specialist subjects. Let's have a look at the scores. Fourth place with 13 points, Benjamin. Third place, 16 points, Bill. Joint first place, an extraordinary 17 points, Adrian and Jan. So, general knowledge now, and if there's a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes get taken into account. So, let's get on with it and ask Benjamin to join us again, if he would please. And I have to tell you that your 13 points is normally regarded as very high.
I know.
You chose reggae because you had quite an extraordinary link with Bob Marley.
Yeah, when I was a young teenager, I wrote a letter to him. And he wrote back to me, and it was a handwritten letter telling me that Britain needs me, I've got to keep doing my poetry. And,
Wow.
And one day I'll get on Mastermind.
What? Wow. As the ultimate achievement, yeah. And then the other great thing that happened to you was the Wailers, after Marley's death, the Wailers asked you to perform with them, and they'd been turning down just about everybody.
It was great. I came home and I said to my mum, Mum, I work with the Wailers, and she said, how much did you get?
That's a mother for you. How much did you get?
The royalties are still coming in.
Right, let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes, starting now. Which city in India officially became known as Mumbai in the 1990s?
Bombay.
Yeah, in the field of sound recording, for what do the letters HMV stand?
Pass.
Which football club became the first FA Cup winners at the new Wembley Stadium by defeating Manchester United in May 2007?
Arsenal.
Chelsea. The Docklands extension, completed in 1999, is part of which London Underground line?
Dockland Light Railway.
Jubilee. Which American comedian and film star said to have described military intelligence as being a contradiction in terms?
Oh, pass.
Which city's polytechnic became the John Moores University in 1992?
Liverpool.
Yes. H5N1 is the deadly avian strain of which virus?
Pass.
The root of the herb Panax is used by the Chinese and Koreans as a stimulant. How is it better known?
Pass.
Which Quentin Tarantino film opens with a young couple called Pumpkin and Honey Bunny chatting in a coffee shop before deciding to hold up the place?
Reservoir Dogs.
Pulp Fiction. Which queen was born at Greenwich Palace on the 7th of September 1533 and died at Richmond Palace on the 24th of March 1603?
Queen Victoria.
Elizabeth. Which Spanish forename was shared by the painter Picasso and the cello player Casals?
Pass.
On television, in which village was Geraldine Granger, the vicar of St Barnabas's Church?
Dibley.
Yeah. Which group of drugs are commonly used to treat allergies, nettle rash, hay fever and also travel sickness?
Pass.
In 1992, Betty Boothroyd became the first woman to be elected to which post in the House of Commons?
Speaker of the House.
Yes. Which 19th century composer's works include more than 10 polonaises and around 55 mazurkas for piano?
Mozart.
Chopin. Which Parisian art centre, I've started so I'll finish, was notorious when it first opened for having its infrastructure of brightly coloured ducts and pipes on the outside?
The Louvre.
Pompidou Centre, I can tell you that. When you had 6 passes, antihistamines you use for all those allergies. Pablo Picasso and Pablo Casals. Ginseng is the herb. H5N1 is a form of influenza. Groucho Marx said that acid thing about military intelligence being a contradiction in terms. HMV stands for his master's voice. Benjamin, well, you've equalled them at this stage anyway. 17 points total. And now, Bill, please. 16 with your knowledge of beekeeping. I've known you a long time. Didn't know you were a beekeeper. How long?
6 or 7 years, 6 years, I think.
Why?
It's absolutely fascinating. Once you start, there's so much to learn, and you have to interact with these insects, which can be quite calm, but also can be very, very nasty.
Quite so.
And at the end of it, they perform this magic. They go to the flowers, draw the nectar, and they produce liquid gold, which tastes magnificent, especially when it's your own.
You've got 16 points. It's a very close contest, this. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. Here we go, 2 minutes. Which famous painting was stolen from the Louvre in 1911 and recovered in Italy in 1913?
The Mona Lisa.
Yes, the river known as the Water of the Leith runs close to the centre of which British city?
Edinburgh.
Correct. Which Greek hero slew the Minotaur reputedly in the labyrinth at Knossos?
Perseus.
No, Theseus. What name is given to the part of the White House that houses the Oval Office and the Cabinet Room?
The West Wing.
Yes. Which former Premiership manager was appointed as manager of the Spanish football club Real Sociedad in 2007?
Pass.
The teal is the smallest European member of which bird family?
The gull.
Duck. The 2006 film The Hoax deals with Clifford Irving's forged memoirs of which reclusive billionaire?
Howard Hughes.
Correct. Sabina, which collapsed in November 2001 because of financial problems, was the national airline of which European country?
Belgium.
Yes. What's the name of the fruit of the blackthorn which is used to flavour sweetened gin?
Berry.
Slow. Which Mercury Music Prize-winning band from Sheffield began when founder members Alex Turner and Jamie Cook were given electric guitars for Christmas in 2001?
Arctic Monkeys.
Correct. Which Conservative was the last Prime Minister to be a bachelor?
Ted Heath.
Yeah. What's the indigenous Japanese religious tradition whose name means the way of the kami?
Shinto.
Yes. Which fashion designer was shot dead outside his Miami Beach mansion in July 1997?
Pass.
Where in Pennsylvania did a major accident occur at a nuclear power station in March 79?
3 Mile Island.
Yes. What nickname was given to the 12th century Holy Roman Emperor Frederick I because of his red beard?
Redbeard.
Barbarossa. Which word can mean to impede the progress of something and a large basket used for laundry or picnics?
Hamper.
Yes. Sandy Dombrowski and Danny Zuko are the leading characters in which musical?
Pass.
What name is given to the green patina on copper or bronze that forms on exposure to the atmosphere?
Taint.
Verdigris. Which heavyweight rock and roll singer and pianist was rescued from his home after Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans in 2005?
Meatloaf.
Fats Domino. Cornish Rex and Devon Rex are curly-coated breeds of which household pet? Think of a pet. Take a guess.
Cat.
Did you say cat?
Cat.
You're right. It was cat. Yeah. You had 3 passes. Dombrowski and Zuko are in Greece. Versace was the fashion designer, shot dead in Miami. And Chris Coleman was the football manager. 3 passes. Bill, a total now of 27 points. And now, Adrian, please. Right. The Sex Pistols, and, of course, you famously played Vivian the Punk.
That's true, yes.
Were the Sex Pistols the best, were they?
Absolutely, yes.
Because?
They were just the best. They made the best noise.
Right.
It's the easiest way to put it. They're just thrilling. I mean,
Are they?
I find them very exciting. Do you have did the hell no thrall for you at all?
I can't say that they did.
Have you not got into any pop music ever in your life?
Well,
Have you never danced? You ever thought, yes, have you never punched the air? Have you never... Does your blood
yes,
never
of
race?
course I have.
What was that, to Cliff Richard, or...?
I'm going to ask the general knowledge questions in Latin. Is that all right? Right. You've got 17 points. The score to beat is 27.
Yes.
Let's see if you can do it. 2 minutes, starting now. According to Dr. Samuel Johnson, a man is tired of life when he's tired of which city?
London.
Yes. Which former pop star founded the Monster Raving Loony Party in 1983 as a protest against the stupidity of politics?
Screaming Lord Sutch.
Yes. Logroño is the capital of which region of northern Spain noted for its red wines?
Rioja.
Yeah. What name's given to the region at the centre of an atom that contains almost all of its mass but occupies only a tiny fraction of its volume?
The nucleus.
Yes. In which film does Jack Nicholson play the devilish Darrell Van Horn?
Is that The Shining?
No, The Witches of Eastwick. Who was the ginger-haired lead singer with the Manchester-based new wave band The Frantic Elevators before the group split and he went on to greater success?
I know him. Pass.
Which Portuguese football club, then under the management of José Mourinho, defeated Monaco to win the UEFA Champions League in 2004?
Porto.
Yeah. Which University Dramatic Society, whose presidents have included Peter Cook and Hugh Laurie, gave its first performance under its present name in 1883?
Cambridge Footlights.
Yes. What's the common name of the garden flower, the antirrhinum?
Don't know. Pass.
Which biblical character, whose name's become a byword for longevity, died at the age of 969, according to chapter 5 of Genesis?
Methuselah.
Yes. Which Australian television series set in Waratah National Park was about a park ranger and the family's pet?
Skippy.
Yeah. At which geographical location did Lewis Pugh swim 1 kilometre in July 2007 to highlight global warming?
The Arctic Circle.
Yes, the North Pole. The pianist Lil Hardin was the second wife of which celebrated jazz musician nicknamed Satchmo?
Louis Armstrong.
Yep. According to most versions of the Arthurian legends, which of the Knights of the Round Table was the adulterous lover of Queen Guinevere?
Lancelot.
Yes. Which Venetian traveller who lived in China for 17 years wrote an account of his journeys while imprisoned by the Genoese in about 1298?
Marco Polo.
Correct. What name is given to a gem or semi-precious stone with a figure carved in relief on it?
Pass.
Which animal, also known as the prairie wolf, finish the question, was one of the chief animals in the myths and folklore of Native Americans?
Can't even guess.
All right, I'll tell you. Coyote.
Coyote.
Coyote. And your other passes, the cameo. That's the name given to a gem or semi-precious stone. And to ride him as a snapdragon, Mick Hucknall.
Mick Hucknall.
Yeah, you knew it all the time. Adrian, 4 passes, a total of 29 points.
Thank you.
And now Jan, please. Oh, boy, you've got a big score to beat there.
I
but
sure have.
You did well with Daphne du Maurier, 17 points. I suppose we know you mostly for your impressions.
Yes.
So what's funny about Fiona Bruce?
She sort of glimmers and glowers at the camera in this very sort of, like a predatory sort of sexual panther. And sort of standing up or behind a desk, it's all the same to me. And so I just sort of exaggerated it for comic effect. And I seem to have been doing it for quite a number of years now.
Now, you have 17 points, a very high score. You have to beat 29 points. Here we go. What name, apparently referring to a classic Monty Python sketch, is given to junk mail on the internet?
Spam.
Correct. What's the name of Venice's main canal, which extends from St. Mark's Basilica to Piazzale Roma?
The Grand Canal.
Yes, in June 2007, who became the first woman to be appointed as Home Secretary?
Jackie Smith.
Correct. Which Shakespeare play includes the lines, all the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players?
As You Like It.
Correct. The film La Vie en Rose is also known as La Môme. It's a biopic of which French singer?
Edith Piaf.
Correct. Which compound of hydrogen with the chemical formula H2O2 is used as a mild antiseptic and as a bleaching agent for hair?
Pass.
Who in 2007 equalled Bjorn Borg's record of 5 consecutive men's singles tennis titles at Wimbledon?
Roger Federer.
Correct. Which thick stew-like North American soup is typically made with seafood, especially clams?
Chowder.
Correct. Which Christian name was shared by 4 kings who ruled Great Britain in succession between 1714 and 1830?
George.
Correct. Who topped the UK singles charts in 1986 with Papa Don't Preach?
Madonna.
Yes. Priam was the king of which ancient city when it was sacked by the Greeks?
Thebes.
Troy. What name was given to the dress designed by Coco Chanel and launched in the late 1920s, which Vogue referred to as the new uniform of the modern woman?
The flapper dress.
The little black dress. In which musicals are Mr. Mistopheles, Skimbleshanks and Mungo Jerry among the characters?
Cats.
Yes. Which reclusive writer's first novel, published in 1951, was The Catcher in the Rye?
J.D. Salinger.
Correct. Which actor plays Dr. Tom Jackman in Jekyll, an updated television version of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Jimmy Nesbitt.
Yes. Whose waltz compositions include Tales from the Vienna Woods and the Blue Danube?
Strauss.
Yes. Which country has 4 official languages, French, German, Italian and Romansh?
Switzerland.
Yes. Each episode of which long-running American television comedy series had a title that began the one with...
Friends.
Yes. In which West Yorkshire city is the National Media Museum?
York.
Bradford. The title of which film in which Eminem had his first starring role refers to the perimeter road that cuts off inner-city Detroit from its suburbs?
3 Mile.
Close. 8 Mile. You had 1 pass. What you dye your hair with and all that. Bleaching agent. Hydrogen peroxide. Doesn't matter, though. Jan, 32 points. So, at the end of that round, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 17 points, Benjamin. 3rd place with 27 points, Bill. 2nd place with 29 points, Adrian. In 1st place with an astonishing 32 points, Jan. So this is it, Jan. Come and get it. You do know that you are the first woman ever to win this particular Mastermind trophy, don't you?
Wow, what an honour.
Yeah,
Thank you very
indeed.
much.
It'll change your life, presumably.
Obviously, yes.
Congratulations. Very well done. Now, obviously, you don't have to be a celebrity to appear on Mastermind. If you want to appear on the regular Mastermind, you can apply, please do, to the address you see on the bottom of the screen now, or the website bbc.co.uk/Mastermind. Thank you for watching this edition of Celebrity Mastermind. Good night.
Denise's New Year celebrations are about to come to an abrupt end. An emotional EastEnders next. And the drama continues with the return of Connie, Holby City at 8:10. And A New Life in Devon holds the promise of love in Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility at 9:10.